pleasure. So welcome everyone to episode 3 of Musicians Corner. I think it's becoming more and more of a well-oiled machine as we go along. But I'm very, very delighted to have Ray Mcfarlane here, and it's just very kind of you to give your time to be here. And I hear you're a media composer. I've had a little check out of your social medias and your Instagram, and you're very active on there, and that your reels are fantastic, and the quality of the stuff you produce is really, really good.
Oh,
So
thank you so much. That means a lot to me,
yeah.
really.
Thank you very much for being here. And I think today, in terms of format, it's very relaxed. It's more just to get to know a bit more about you, how you got into music, maybe your kind of thought process behind how you write a piece of music, your creative process, what sort of samples you like using, and I see that you've worked a bit with orchestral tools in the past and present today, but it'd be nice to hear a bit more about that as well, maybe if we've got time. So we'll just start off sort of with how did you first sort of get into this massive industry, which is music, I guess. Yeah, yeah.
Well, honestly, I wrote my first composition ever when I was 16 years old, and
Okay.
was commissioned by this international trio called the Griffin Trio. And I was at school at the time. I went to a private-ish music school. So we had ear training,
Yeah.
music theory, orchestra, all that, because my primary instrument is violin.
Yeah, nice.
Um, that was the first time I actually wrote something. It was on MuseScore, which is I think is everyone's first
Yeah, definitely. I've got that on
software.
my iPhone now. I still got it on my iPhone. Even when I've just got like a little idea, I just like get it up,
Oh my God, I
Yeah.
didn't even know they had an app. I need to check that out.
It's great. It's just I think it's one of those useful things, like say if you're on the go somewhere and you just have like a little musical
Mhm.
inspiration, you can like jot stuff down.
I
Yeah.
need that. Right now, I use my voice notes every
Oh
time
yeah,
I
that's a
in my head.
popular thing,
It's
yeah.
getting, it's getting a bit full, so I might check that out. But
Yeah.
yeah, I wrote that, and it was kind of a mini competition against the class. So whoever had the best composition got theirs played in a hall.
Yeah.
Um, and this was in Toronto. So mine
Yeah.
got chosen. I was like, wow. After working with closely with some of the trio players and getting more advice, I realized I really, really love writing music more than I did with playing.
Yeah.
And that's when I wanted to start taking composing very seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. I think everyone has these different kind of points where they sort of realize, this is what I want to do,
Yeah,
uh
yeah.
100%. And so whereabouts are you based at the moment then in terms of your music? Where are you based in? Well, I was going to say in the world. I saw your background. I'm just going to say world because I was like, whereabouts are you based?
Yeah, I'm everywhere.
Yeah.
So right now I'm at Berklee, so that's in Boston.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, but when I leave, I go back to Toronto right now. I have
Yeah.
so much work there, which is great.
Yeah.
So I'm doing some commissions there, so I might as well just stay there and just enjoy the
Yeah.
time. It's a
And is
really
that where you were brought up in terms of Toronto? Were you brought up in Toronto?
So basically I grew up in London and then we moved. So
Oh, okay.
Islington area and when I was a bit smaller and then I moved to Toronto and that's when I got into the music school and everything.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so now I'm here. Maybe I might be in the States for a bit longer than I would like to, but
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah, it's yeah, and I think what's amazing about this social media, that you're halfway across the globe, and all these videos and reels you do, it brings everyone together as well, which is really nice. And you see people commenting from all over the world, which is it's just really nice. It's just this real
Yeah,
sense of community as well.
it's
Uh,
amazing. Like
yeah,
seeing all the kind words that people put
yeah,
out. Because before I just used to do this for fun, just to help people out, especially kids. Because I remember when I was a kid, I started music very late.
yeah,
12, in retrospect to people who start when they're 3 or 4. So I grew up thinking, what is this? What is theory? What is all this? And
Yeah.
at that point, I was so embarrassed to ask people and ask teachers because of everyone else's
Yeah.
knowledge. So
Yeah.
I would always go to social media, to YouTube, find short tutorials and things
Yeah.
like that. So I always want to give back and do just
Yeah.
quick videos helping anybody that I can help.
Yeah. I just try to get out that mindset that there's no such thing as a stupid question, isn't it? You're learning something new every day. I just try not to get afraid to ask anything now, because
Mhm.
everyone's at that point of learning something, every day, that's the thing. Um, and in terms, you said you started having music lessons when you were about, do you say 12?
Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
when I got my
was
first
that on the
orchestra.
violin?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, cool.
So I started with that. I was just in a small youth orchestra.
Yeah,
First violin,
yeah,
I loved it. Vivaldi Winter was one of the first pieces that I listened to when I
nice.
was younger, and the violin in that was crazy, and I just wanted to be able to replicate that.
Yeah,
And a couple years later, then I started getting into writing.
yeah,
Got my own private composing teachers and
yeah,
music teachers to get all the foundation with
yeah.
that.
So at Berklee at the moment, are you doing a mix of, say, um, performing and composing, or is it just strictly all like the composing aspect?
Um,
Um, or do you like
mhm.
use? I know there's some people you like use the main instrument as part of their composing as well. Do you use your violin as part of your composing process as well?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. I use a mix of singing and my violin just
yeah,
to get the motifs and ideas out.
yeah,
Um, right now, how Berkeley's set up is mandatory to have um performance classes.
yeah,
So I still have violin classes, private
yeah,
teachers, which I really love because
yeah,
if I didn't have that, it wouldn't push me to keep playing. I would just be in my room writing
yeah,
in a dark room with one dim
yeah.
light. So yeah, but right now I have video game scoring classes and film scoring classes.
That's awesome.
Mm.
Um, I think I agree with you on the performance type thing because when I did my music degree, I was very much just interested in the composing part, but I had to do the performance part in terms of I did trumpet, not violin. As much as I
Ooh.
wanted to learn violin, I think I was just I never thought I'd get like the coordination with like the hands and the bow. I know I might have been okay with it because I play piano, so it might have been some kind of coordination there, but
You could have
um
done it. You could have done
yeah. But
it.
no, I feel the same that I just had to keep that performance aspect up, even though I didn't particularly want to. I just wanted to be be in my room, just
Yeah,
outside my desk
yeah,
composing
it's dreadful.
100%. Yeah.
Dreadful.
Um,
Yeah.
so when you first started composing, did you have any particular influences that sort of really got you into the composing? It made you think that's what I want to do. Is there any sort of specific style you started listening to first, or if that makes sense?
hmm
Yeah.
Honestly, like I said before, Vivaldi
Yeah.
was one of my first. So Four Seasons was everything that I would be listening to when I was younger.
Mhm.
Then I got to Tchaikovsky. I fell in love with the Romantic era, especially because of operas. Eugene Onegin is one of
Yeah.
my favorite operas.
We just played that. We had a concert this
Get
weekend. We
out!
played there. Yeah.
Are you kidding? Oh my
uh,
God.
yeah. My partner very kindly transposed the parts for us on Sibelius though because they were in the wrong key. So, um, but there was a bit of a. Oh, she's probably gonna be annoyed with me for saying this, but oh well. But we had a bit of a situation where we were playing it in a rehearsal, and we um got to I think there's a repeated section where it's like ba 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 da 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 da. And she'd forgot to put the bars rest in between that. But luckily we knew the piece so well by that point that we just played it with the bars rest, even though it was just written like one bars rest. I know it was, and then we both just couldn't stop laughing. It was the most ridiculous thing to laugh at, but it was just, um, but no, I'm not great at transposing. I great at transposing. I can sort of do it if it's a piece I know, uh,
Mm,
but we just wrote the parts out because we're lazy. And
that is
I should just transpose it. But you know, if there's a shortcut, I'll take it. You
yeah,
know.
yeah. That's
Um,
so strange.
but yeah, we did you know, all the popular ones, also Mio and La Donna Mobile and Carmen, of course, at this concert we did this weekend. So
Oh,
it was really good, yeah.
mm,
Um not much trumpet at times, which is counting a lot of bars rest, but you know,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what a brass does well.
Oh, I was like you sometimes because violin string section we never stop. We get at
Yeah,
least the most bars of rest I've had is like if it's not a concerto, is maybe like 7 in a
yeah,
row, and then
yeah,
we
definitely.
get to cry and then we start playing again.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you say that you did like music courses with like other musicians when you said you were talking about your violin, you said you had like was it like a summer was it like summer courses that you did as like a
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So, what I did, um, before I actually got into Berklee, because I graduated in 2020, which was the pandemic year.
yeah,
So I took a year off, which I recommend to everybody.
yeah,
Um, I took a year off because I didn't really know what was going on in the world. So during that time, I took 2 Berklee summer courses simultaneously.
yeah,
I took film scoring in LA, and I took, well, it wasn't in LA, it was online because of COVID. And then we had high school intensive composition. And
yeah,
that kind of helped me figure out if I wanted to do regular live composition or if
yeah,
I wanted to do film scoring.
yeah,
Uh, and I realized that, I feel like if you love composing, you can always compose. But
yeah,
film music, there's different aspects to it. There's the
yeah,
business side, there's the technology,
yeah,
there's, the knowledge of syncing and things like that.
yeah,
So I wanted to go to school to actually learn those things.
yeah,
I think if you can write, you can write.
yeah,
Um, especially in this contemporary world right now, in
yeah,
a world, you could write whatever, and
yeah,
there's gonna be a community that loves.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing when you see like a finished product of like a film with music, you don't necessarily see all these little things that you just say you needed to hone in on. Uh,
Yeah.
it's you just kind of see the film and the music. So no, I completely agree with, you know, I had this sort of decision where to do I wanted to do Sibelius stuff, you know, but I also wanted to learn more about the filming aspect of it. So I chose to go down that more syncing with film aspect as well. I don't know. I just enjoyed it so much. I think there was when I did my undergrad, I think there was only one sort of film music module, but I remember doing it and being like, this is what I want to do. um, so as you say, I recommend I should have taken a year out, but I didn't. But I did my masters, and that was particularly focused on, you know, composing for film and just learning more about that.
Wow.
Um, but it's interesting about you saying about these online courses and these camp. I was gonna say camp, it's not summer camp. That makes it sound like but you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
these courses that you went on. I think it's just this feeling of being around other people that have the same passion as you is just I find it such a nice feeling. Um, I went on a course a few years ago doing orchestral playing, and it was just such a nice feeling to be around other people that
Mhm.
shared the same interests. And um I didn't want it to, and it felt like I'd known these people for ages, even though I'd
Mhm.
only known them a week. And you share all these interests, and then all of a sudden it's over and you're like, oh, didn't didn't want it to end. And then you um hoping when the next one is 100%. um so I'm just looking at how much we've got left. I've got loads of time. So in terms of your work with orchestral tools, because I wanted to talk a bit about that, and you talk
Mhm.
in terms of your film composing and just composing in general. How did that come about, or um how have you enjoyed that experience so far working with such a, huge company like that?
I love it so much.
Yeah,
The community at Orchestral Tools is amazing. It's like a small little family that I've never met in person.
yeah,
Well, I have. I've met Graham. He's like the head of the
yeah,
marketing. He's amazing. Because Orchestral Tools and Berklee have this collaboration
yeah,
together, um, where they have a YouTube channel called Virtual Orchestration where they
yeah.
teach you about DAWs and sample
Uh,
libraries and how to mix, which is I think is amazing
yeah,
because I've
I'm gonna
never.
tag that in 100% because
Yeah,
that's only started the last few months, hasn't it? Well, the
yeah,
channel, yeah.
yeah.
Uh, and it just has everything on it. It's a bit of a music encyclopedia, really, and it's just
Mhm.
growing constantly.
And
Um,
some teachers
yeah.
from Berklee are also on it, and they're
Oh, cool.
amazing teachers. Yeah, so it's a really great thing that they're doing. But in terms of what I do with the social media and the sample libraries,
Yeah,
um, you know, I first started out. I haven't even been doing this for a year, to be honest with you. I've only been doing it for 8 months. So,
it's fantastic.
um, thank
But
you.
think how much you've grown in that space of
I
time.
know. I was like, wow,
Yeah,
I'm building such a great community. And I love everybody who follows me, but I started like August or September
yeah.
just posting stuff that just for me, because I used to be really, really scared of posting on social media, as everybody is. The things that come in your head, like, what are people gonna think?
Yeah,
I'm gonna spend all this time on it, it's gonna get 2 views
yeah,
and yada yada yada. So someone really close to me, they gave me some encouragement and they're like, you know, post it for yourself so that if it does flop, it's still for you. It was a
yeah,
gift to you, not a gift to anybody else. And I only post things that I would enjoy. I don't do things for other people,
yeah.
thinking that they'll like it or think that it'll get a lot of views. I just do it because I'm passionate.
100%.
And yeah, and people started liking it.
Yeah.
And then Orchestral Tools was like, "Hey, we saw your stuff. It's great. Do you want to do some stuff for us?" And I'm telling you, when they followed me and emailed me, I was like, "Oh my God, it was crazy."
Yeah.
Um, and yeah,
With
ever
a
since,
little happy dance.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was fangirl. Oh my God. Um, yeah, ever since then, I've been doing stuff for different companies. I also do East West as well.
Yeah.
East West Sounds, they're great as well. Um, and it's just great. And the thing is, because I'm at Berklee, people now use me as kind of like an
Yeah.
anchor for sample libraries, asking
Yeah.
me, I'll give them the honest truth on certain
Yeah.
things. And it's just great. It's a great community.
It's real. It's just crazy how one thing can just set all these dominoes going,
Yes.
and it's no, it's fantastic to just see how it's growing. It's crazy. 8 months that is
Mhm.
and I think that's the thing at times where I feel it's some stuff has gone slow on my profile. I just tried to think, where was I, 12 months ago, and think how much you've just achieved in that time, and it just puts things into perspective as well. Um, I think you make a very good point about posting stuff for yourself as well. Um, I just try to even ignore like the likes and stuff. I'm more focused about the comments because I think I found that actually improves the coverage more if you respond to people and
Mhm.
comments and stuff. It makes it more personalized as well. Um, Especially if you're posting videos of yourself, talking through your your composition or explaining how to use a certain chord or something like that. It just makes it more personalized rather than just posting a picture with some text as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and just showing your face on camera. So you just have to bite the bullet and just do it, don't you? That's the thing,
Real. You
100%.
never know who's watching. Like people
Yeah,
can stumble upon your page and stalk you for a bit and
yeah,
then they'll save one of your posts for later and they'll come back to it. Like you never know.
yeah.
It's just I always encourage people to stop posting things that they love.
I have that saved function on Instagram. I just it's just have her ever in it. But I get a bit carried away sometimes because some of it will be memes, and then it will just
Yeah.
really mess up my algorithm. My algorithm will be like, "What you like? Are you liking memes or are you liking music? What do you want me to show you?" Yeah, and then you start getting music memes, which are, oh no, it'll be
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. No, but it's just fantastic to see how far you've come in that time. And it's just going to keep growing and growing. So I'm really pleased to just see where it goes for you as well. And you never know, you might be CEO of your own sample library someday.
I hope one
Yeah,
day.
yeah. Um, in terms of the orchestral libraries, orchestral tools libraries, are there any that you're particularly focusing on using at the moment, or is there anything in terms of your projects that you're working on, and any particular orchestral tools samples that you're using for them?
Okay, so when it comes to virtual libraries, it all depends on what I'm doing at the time.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Yeah, right
I know it's
now,
quite a broad question that, so
yeah,
yeah,
it's so good.
yeah,
Right now I'm using Claire Wicks's flute. It's
yeah,
amazing. Lucent, it's really great. She played it all herself and it
yeah,
is just amazing. I want to make a video on that so badly,
yeah.
so might happen. And
And it's free as well. We like
it's
free stuff.
free.
Yeah.
Right? It's free.
Yeah.
When I used to when I first got into virtual instruments,
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna be like $10. When I see three digits, my mouth dropped. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
it's expensive for
Yeah.
things like this. But now I understand why
Yeah.
it takes a
Just
lot.
the amount of the work it goes into it. I think that's the
Yeah.
thing. You just see a finished product. You don't see all the stuff that goes into it. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I like the articulations that go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, I think we've gone a bit unstable. Oh, it said the connection went. All right, I think we're back. No.
Okay, we're good.
No, no. I was like, you're either staying extremely still or it's crashed. No, I was just saying it's really good to have like a mixture of articulations um and stuff when you get with that with Clairwick's sample, because quite
Mhm.
often you'll just get one patch which is just a legato patch, but there's lots of different techniques
Mhm.
which you wouldn't get normally without paying as you say, a three-digit number for.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's fantastic, and there's quite a few different free ones, isn't it? I don't think I've not explored them all, but I'm particularly obsessed with the felt piano one.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Sign Factory, they have like organs,
yeah,
brass band, everything.
yeah,
Really great if you want to start um just have a little basis of a bit of collection,
yeah,
things like that. But I think Orchestral Tools is more of like very contemporary. There's
yeah,
a lot of sounds that they have that you will not find anywhere else.
yeah,
Um it's just, if you're like, I need this sound and it's just I can't figure out what it is.
yeah,
They'll probably
yeah.
have
You
it.
have that when you're sat down with like a blank score and you're like, what's that sound? And you
Yeah.
you just start sort of singing it to yourself. If there was only a way that you could just sort of go into your mic and say the sound, or just like sing the sound and be like, oh, you mean this?
Yeah.
I was like, I have like a inbuilt like Shazam or something like. It's called Shazam when it knows the song that you're listening to.
Yeah.
But just like, oh, you'll sing the sound, it'll be like, oh, did you mean this?
That's an amazing invention. We need that.
Yeah, there you go. There's a gap in the market there. That'll be an interesting one to pitch. No. Um,
Oh
I
my
think that's
God.
interesting about what you say about orchestral tools being very like contemporary, um, and having a wide, um, really wide. I was gonna say portfolio. What's the word? Library. That's the word I'm looking for. And I think it's the way it's really accessible as well. It has its own player as well, which is really universal as well, which makes it different from other companies as well. Very
Yeah.
easy to install. Um, and then there's even guides to show you how to install it as well, which is great. Um,
Yeah. They have walkthroughs also for different libraries before you buy
yeah,
them.
yeah,
It is great.
yeah. I think it's very clear when you do your walkthrough videos as well. It's just very clear um what the topic is and what you're doing. Sometimes when you'll watch a video, it won't be very clear. I could be half watching something and you'll really explain the layout of your video, and it'll be, oh no, this is a video where I'm going to show. And no, but no, it's really good, and it makes it so universal. You've really thought about the audience as well. You've really thought about making it inclusive for everyone. You've put captions on there, and just made it so that anyone can watch it, which I think is, a really thoughtful thing to do, which again is just going to increase your coverage as well,
Yes.
more and
Yes.
more.
Yes.
100%. So you say you're going to be working on you have a video planned for the Claire Wicks's library next. Are there any other particular projects that you're working on at the moment? Or I know there might be some stuff that you sworn to secrecy, which is
Yeah.
fine, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. The things that I can tell you about, I don't know, like I have a lot of live stuff that I'm doing, a lot of live commissions that are on the way, which I love. I feel like live music, for me, writing live music is where I actually have 100% freedom. I
Yeah,
don't think when you do film music, you have 100% freedom. It's impossible because of the directors and everyone's input. It's more of a
mhm,
collaboration thing. So I don't really get too attached to my film music
yeah,
because of that. I feel like a lot of film composers, some of them do get attached, and then when the director wants to make a tweak, they take it personally, which you're not
yeah,
supposed to do.
yeah,
Um, that's why I use writing live music and getting commissions for live work as an outlet to express
yeah,
myself fully.
yeah,
So I want to do more of that. And that will come. I have some videos just going out from Orchestral Tools,
yeah,
East West, hopefully some
yeah,
other companies during the summertime. But yeah, and I
yeah.
also conducting, so more conducting videos.
Oh yes, I think that's really interesting you mentioned conducting as well, because it's something that I'm not gonna lie, I know nothing about. I know basic time signatures and whatnot, but it's um it's something I'd want to be able to. I think it's more a confidence thing as well, of just being able to stand up there, and I'd like to be able to conduct my own piece. And um it must have been a really. Do you remember the first time you were up on that podium conducting your first piece of music? Do you remember? Did it feel like you had so much power in that moment? Yeah.
Honestly, Berklee forces us to take all the writing majors to take conducting class.
Yeah.
And once I got in there, that's when I realized how hard it is to actually conduct what actually goes in it. Because you won't know until you're actually in the works of doing it.
Yeah.
So we have to cue, write, mark up our whole,
Yeah.
write everything down, time signatures,
Yeah.
cueing and things like that. And then just being up there and having to look at everybody, it is
Yeah.
nerve-wracking. You can
Yeah.
tell, like in my videos, I wear a mask just because I'm not even that confident yet to be there and
Yeah.
like show my face because I'm always laughing.
Yeah.
So and people call me out on it. They're like, "Oh my God, why are you wearing a mask?" And I was just being transparent. I was like, "Yeah, I'm not that confident yet." Hopefully, I'm doing Stravinsky right now. Hopefully, with that one,
That's gonna be hard.
I
That's
know
yeah.
it is. But hopefully for that one, I'm not wearing a mask. I can be confident enough to,
Yeah.
do that.
As
But
if when you're behind a mask, at least you can like mutter to yourself and swear if
yeah,
something goes wrong.
just
Ah.
swear behind it. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's such an important aspect of. I think it's really good that at Berkeley it's just something you learn um along the way as well. Um and I wish that was something that I could have done when I was at music college, but I think it was more just a confidence thing. I think the connection's gone again.
Mhm.
Did you? I think you. I think
Oh
you.
yeah, yours was too. I was like, oh.
Could you hear me then?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear
No.
you.
I was like, it's really funny because I was like, oh, she's listening very intently now. She's sort of,
Yeah, the
no, I was
connection
just
was
saying
in and out.
it's such an important aspect of music, and I think not just for music colleges like Berklee, I think it should be like an essential thing, really. To be honest, if you're wanting to do composing, um, even if it not maybe advanced conducting, even just at a basic level, um, it's something that I want to definitely go into further. I think it's just a confidence thing in terms of that. No,
Definitely.
that's really good to hear. And what sort of size orchestra is it that you're working with in terms of doing the Stravinsky? You say the next do you say you're doing Stravinsky next?
Yeah, so I'm doing the Math Royale. So that's what is that? One, two, three, four. Like six, seven instruments. It's like brass,
Yeah.
violin, I should have but yeah, it's like trumpet, everything like that. So it's a more brass thing. But other than that, I do small ensembles,
Yeah.
and I've also done a full orchestra before,
Yeah.
for classes.
Yeah.
So I'm getting everything. I've also done opera
Yeah.
and opera and things like that. So
And would you say is it easier to work with, say, smaller ensembles, but then it might be more intricate, if that makes sense? Or is it harder to work with opera because I guess you might be following a singer there, where you had in my especially from the concerts we had last night, I was really making sure to follow the singer and not the
mhm.
conducts, because sometimes it can be really rubato and hold a note on longer than the previous night, and so you had to make sure. No, but yeah, would you say one's easier than the other, or um, is there any that
um
you like more?
I agree with you. Like when you're conducting anything that has a soloist or anything, you have to, it's kind of like you're not conducting, but you are at the same time. They
Yeah,
take the lead and then it's you. So it's really hard, especially when they want to drag things out and
yeah,
do a lot of rubato and then speed
yeah,
up again. So you just have to know the piece very, very
yeah,
well
yeah,
so that when they alter it, you're still on the right track.
yeah. And I think that's the thing with you see these professional conductors. I think that's what makes them really stand out, is that they might have conducted this solo piece multiple times, but each soloist will play a slightly different interpretation of it, and they'll
Mhm.
just be ready for whatever. Because they might one soloist might hold on a note longer, one soloist might do a bit slightly quicker, but they're just prepared for anything.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. I admire them. Once I realized that it's not just them waving their hands around.
yeah. And it's a workout as well.
It is.
Yeah. If it was me, I'd have my like Fitbit watch on, just like making sure I get that's my calories for the day. 100%. So into how many are you? What year are you in at your Berkeley at the moment? How many more years have you got there?
I'm halfway through, so I have
Halfway
two
through. Yeah.
more years if everything goes smoothly. And I honestly don't know what I'm gonna do after. I feel like
Who
that's
does? Who
goes
does?
well. Yeah, you know. I didn't think I was gonna be here
Yeah.
last year, so things will
Yeah.
definitely change.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah.
I think that's the thing, that so many things can steamroll and have this domino effect. As I was saying earlier, you could get one project that might lead on to so many other things you just don't know. So I think in terms of what you're doing at the moment, I think you just need to take it one day at a time, especially with how much you're doing at the moment. So in terms of your Berkeley final year, would you have like a big sort of project you'd have to do, like a dissertation, um, like a big final project that you'll have to do for your final year? Or would that,
Yeah,
yeah,
like a
yeah,
capstone
yeah,
type thing. Yeah. I think that's just for last year.
yeah,
I'm not even sure what that entails,
yeah,
especially because I'm doing video game scoring also.
Yeah, no.
And that major is fairly new. I think it started like last semester.
Yeah.
So it's still tweaking everything out, but I trust that it's gonna go great.
No, it will go great. Um, and 100%, I think you just need to keep doing what you're doing because all the stuff you're producing is great, and I'm 100% going to tag everything in that you're doing, and I'll also, tag if there's any particular projects that people can go and find more information out about, or I'll also put in the Berklee I was gonna say the virtual orchestral tools like the channel that people can follow to find out more
Yes.
tips and tricks because as I say every day's a school day really, isn't it? um and it's just really great to just have this time to just hear more about your time at Berklee as well. It's something different to what I've been used to sort of having chats about people with people about because it's a very just amazing music college, quite frankly. Um, and it's just a privilege to just talk to someone from that background. So I really thank you for your time. I've just seen that we've got a minute left now, but so I just wanted to get my thanks in before
Yeah.
it just cut you out. Just like, thank you.
Thank
No,
you so much for having me. Also, it is amazing that you see it's great when people see my vision and they support me. And because sometimes I do stuff and I'm like, this is crazy. When you write a piece and it's like, this is crazy. Nobody's
yeah,
gonna. I'm just insane. I've hit my breaking point. No one's
yeah,
gonna mess with this. But just seeing how many people actually um find relatable content with
yeah,
what I do, it's great. So I
yeah.
appreciate that you're one of those people.
That's right. And I'm looking forward to seeing where this journey goes further. So
Yeah.
thank you very much for your time, Ray, today. And I think we'll wrap it up there. So thank you again for just being a part of episode 3 of Musicians Corner. And yeah.
Woo! Okay, thank you.
Okay. Bye now, Ray. Bye. Bye.